What is going on, guys? Joey Suggs here, and welcome to today's video. Now, something feels a little off. So I am once again shirtless in a room, well, with another man, and not to do anything weird, which that sounded weird, but I'm here to show you my top 10 favorite ab exercises. So I put on a couple pounds, but I'm still relatively lean and have some decent abs. I get asked a lot, Joey, what is your ab training routine? What are you doing in the gym that's making your abs pop? And today I'm gonna show you exactly what's making my abs pop, my favorite 10 ab exercises. Now, before I get into it, I want to explain that I don't do abs every single day, but you can train them every day. Your abs are one of the most resilient muscles in your body, so you can train them as much as possible. With that being said, I train them roughly about 3 to 4 times a week, normally 4, and I try to do just 1 or 2 sets, sometimes 3, to make sure I'm getting enough volume in throughout the week. So I'm gonna run you through my 10 favorite exercises. Feel free to leave your comment down below if you guys have any exercises that you enjoy. And with that, if you could do me a huge favor, this is like new news to me, but like 88% of people who are watching my videos are not subbed to my channel. So if that 88% was subbed, we'd be making, well, one, tons of money on my end, but also making a huge impact on YouTube going forward. So if you guys do me a huge favor, press the thumbs up button because that helps the video get out to more people, but also can you please sub to the channel and be part of this YouTube family. Now, with that being said, let's get straight into the ab exercises. All right, so we're starting out with an instant classic, the plank. Now this is a little different from a normal plank because this is actually a plank circuit. If you want to make the planks a little harder, you can do what I did right there and just scoot your face back past your elbows. But you're going to do a standard plank for 30 seconds. Go on to either side, really doesn't matter, and do a 30-second side plank. You're going to then flip on to the other side, do another 30-second side plank, and finish off with none other than a 6-inch killer for another 30 seconds. Makes for a very solid 2-minute ab workout. Do 2 or 3 sets of this and you're good to go. Now moving into one that is really good for progressive overload, the overhead cable crunch. Now you can kind of see how I have the setup here. The height is relatively high, decent weight doesn't really matter, but you're gonna focus on really keeping your back tight, straight. Focus on really bending at the hips, bringing that hip back and down, tucking your elbows into your knees, and this one is an absolute killer. Now you might not recognize this next one from an Instagram post, and I call it the side fuck, because to me that's kind of what you're doing here. But regardless, it is one of my favorite oblique exercises, and it's pretty simple. The main point I want to get out here is that you want to be elevating your feet a little bit to increase the level that you're dipping down. Keep your shoulders above your arm and focus on keeping your torso parallel with the ground the entire time. This is an absolute killer just to do it with your body weight. Sticking with the obliques and actually my favorite exercises, this is this Swiss ball alternating crunch. A couple key points you want to keep in mind here is you want to get your back as far off the ball as possible. Keep your feet relatively together, but your legs relatively spread out. That's going to give you the most rotation when you're coming from your elbow to your knee. You can see in this angle right here, you want to keep your butt on the ball and you want to keep your back off of the ball as much as possible. Obviously there's going to be a little bit there, and you will really feel it when you, well, feel it. This exercise does a really good job of activating all areas of your abs, including your obliques. Now moving on to the bench crunch. This is something that I like to do in between sets, really, while I'm working other muscle groups. Gets a really quick ab activations, and they're very difficult when you do them properly. So the main point here is coming up, crunching, getting your knees tight with your face, and I like to really spend the time to get the movement correct. Now you can tell I have my butt, really my tailbone is the only thing that should be touching the bench, really getting your focus right. If you want to make it even harder, you can take your hands off the bench, but for me, this variation works plenty good enough. Okay, another extremely difficult one, but one that is really, really good at targeting your lower abs, which are really hard to hit. I call this one the weighted dumbbell leg raise, and for good reason. The main focus here is getting your butt as far off of the bench as possible, squeezing your legs together around that weight, and lifting up with your lower abs. Now, this is difficult for me with a 15-pound weight, so you can start with literally no weight at all if need be. And the overall height that you come up doesn't seem to matter so much. The main point of it is that you get as low as possible and really get through that full range of ab motion in the middle. All right, and now a very simple one, and one that we've probably all done before. I don't really know what to call it. I guess a dumbbell side squeeze. But it's a very effective exercise for targeting your obliques, your lats, and really helps build that oh so coveted V taper that everyone's after. So it's very simple here. A couple key points you want to look at is you want to get your feet as close together, stand as straight up as possible, and you want to have the weight as close to your side as you can see right here. Perfect example. Keeping it very close, almost like you're scraping on your leg and your knee on the way down, and also focusing on keeping that opposite hand that's not holding the weight close to your body as well and getting that tight squeeze. Okay, now we're looking at probably the first ab exercise I ever did, and I call this one the decline bench plate hold. Pretty simple. You put a plate on your chest, lay down on a decline bench, come down, your back should never be touching the bench, and you hold the weight for about 3 to 5 seconds, back up, and I try to do about 10 reps. This angle here, you can kind of tell more when I'm talking about as your back should be close to the bench. You do never want to round your back either, but keeping your back off of the bench, keeping that plate situated towards your upper abs. But really, this is an overall ab movement that I've seen a lot of development from over the years. Now, this one's a little more difficult, a little more advanced because it takes a little while to get it correct, but this is what I call this screwdriver twist. It's an oblique exercise and a crunch, as you can tell, coming down either side or both sides really, and then coming up into a crunch. It takes a little while to get the twist correct, and when you really start to feel it, then you really start to feel it. What you really want to focus on during this exercise is when you're twisting, you want to be twisting with your torso. Try not to twist with your shoulders and your chest, and then as you come up, you want to be tucking hips in, almost like you want to suck your belly button into your back. But overall, this is still a very good full ab exercise. And we're gonna finish off here with another OG for me, the classic ab rollout. You can do this a bunch of different ways, but the main factor that I found to really make this one stick is the tucking in again. I really want to pull with my abs, pull with my hips back into my body as I'm going through. And if you keep the roller over your head as you're going out and then extend, that also makes it much more difficult. And the good thing about an ab roller too is it's not just an ab exercise, it's actually working your shoulders, triceps, and chest a bit too. So this is all around good for the abs and the rest of your upper body. All right, and now that I am like completely out of breath, abs, well, fully torqued, that is gonna conclude. Actually, no, it's not gonna conclude. I have one bonus one for you. The 11th, or this might be the 10th, I don't know, I lost count. But this is the simplest one, and you can literally do this anywhere. It's called flexing your abs. Like literally just flexing your abs. If you do that for 15, 30, 45 seconds, 3 sets of that, that's technically an ab workout, and your abs will respond to that. So sometimes when I'm sitting in traffic, driving in the car, I'll literally just flex my abs just to make sure they're getting some kind of stimulus throughout the day. And super important to note, abs are built in the gym, but they're shown in the kitchen. If your diet isn't right, if you're not eating properly, you're not gonna have those abs that pop. But for me, guys, that is gonna wrap up the video on my ab routine, my ab workouts, my favorite ab workouts that I enjoy. If you enjoyed the video, make sure, like I said in the beginning, to smash that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I got content coming all the time for you guys. So with that, I will see you in the next one. Peace.
We'll be right back.